A tire engineer at Bridgestone showed me something that changed how I think about inflation. He opened a tire that failed at just 42,000 miles, half its expected lifespan. The cause? Chronic underinflation by just 3 psi. The owner had checked pressure regularly but made one critical mistake that 73% of drivers make. Cost of that mistake? 1,200 pounds in premature tire replacement plus 340 pounds in wasted fuel. Tonight, 8 inflation errors that destroy tires, waste money, and compromise safety. Number 1, you probably did it last week. Mistake number 8, trusting the gas station gauge. You pull up to the air pump, check the digital display, and it reads 35 psi. Perfect, right? Wrong. Consumer Reports testing of 50 random gas station air pumps found 68% were inaccurate by 2 to 6 psi, with some off by as much as 10 psi. These gauges experience constant abuse, dropped hoses, extreme temperatures, zero calibration. A Birmingham mechanic told me, "I've seen customers ruin 800-pound tires in 15,000 miles because they trusted a station gauge that was reading 4 psi high. The gauge showed 36 psi, but the tire actually held 40 psi, causing center tread wear that made the tires unsafe before 20,000 miles." Here's what professionals do. Carry a digital pressure gauge certified to plus or minus 0.5 psi. Accuracy like the Jayco Elite Pro or Milton S921. They cost 15 to 25 pounds and last for years. Check with your personal gauge, not the station's display. That broken gauge isn't just inaccurate, it's costing you hundreds in premature replacement and reduced fuel economy. One proper tool prevents years of expensive mistakes. Mistake number 7, filling hot tires after driving. Picture this. You drive 15 minutes to the petrol station, notice your tires look slightly low, and add air until they hit the recommended 35 psi on your door jamb. You've just overinflated by 4 to 6 psi without realizing it. When tires roll, friction generates heat that increases air temperature by 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, causing pressure to rise by approximately 1 psi per 10 degrees Fahrenheit, 5.6 degrees Celsius, according to SAEJ 2944 tire pressure standards. That perfect 35 psi reading on hot tires becomes 30 to 31 psi when they cool overnight, leaving you chronically underinflated. Bridgestone Technical Center data shows a tire running 5 psi low operates 10 degrees Celsius hotter at motorway speeds and wears 25% faster. A Mercedes owner I spoke with couldn't understand why his Michelin Pilot Sport tires only lasted 28,000 miles instead of the rated 45,000. The culprit? He always filled after his morning commute when tires were warm. Cold tire pressure means checking before driving or after sitting 3+ hours. That's the only accurate measurement that matters. Mistake number 6, ignoring load-based pressure adjustments. Your door jamb sticker shows one pressure recommendation, and most drivers treat it as gospel for all situations. But that number is calculated for half-load conditions, 2 passengers, and light cargo. Load your car with 4 adults, luggage and gear for a holiday trip, and that same pressure becomes dangerously inadequate. Michelin North America engineers confirmed that every 200 pounds of additional weight changes tire flex patterns and heat buildup dynamics. A fully loaded family SUV on standard 35 psi can experience sidewall flex that generates excess heat, accelerating wear, and increasing blowout risk at motorway speeds. The solution? Add 2 to 4 psi above door sticker recommendations when heavily loaded. It reduces sidewall flexing, keeps temperatures controlled, and dramatically improves stability. Conversely, if you're driving solo regularly, you might reduce by 1 psi for better ride, comfort, and grip. A Land Rover owner avoided a motorway blowout by following this rule before a Scotland trip with 5 passengers and camping gear. Your tires aren't static. They're dynamic systems that need adjustment for real-world conditions. Mistake number 5, chasing MPG through overinflation. Internet forums love this myth. Inflate your tires 5 to 8 psi over recommendation for better fuel economy. Yes, rolling resistance decreases slightly. You might gain 1 to 2% efficiency. But here's what happens behind the physics. The tire contact patch shrinks dramatically, concentrating all vehicle weight onto the center tread. This creates three catastrophic problems. Braking distance increases by up to 10 feet from 60 miles per hour, cornering grip drops by 15 to 20%, and center tread wears twice as fast as the shoulders. Goodyear test data from 2019 showed all-season tires inflated 6 psi over spec failed catastrophically at 118 miles per hour. Sidewalls separated from the bead due to concentrated heat in the center. A Honda Civic owner saved perhaps 40 pounds in fuel over a year by running 42 psi instead of 35 psi, but replaced his 600-pound tires at 22,000 miles instead of 40,000. He lost 280 pounds chasing 40 pounds in savings. On SUVs and trucks, overinflation makes the rear end unstable under braking. Those few pennies in fuel economy cost hundreds in premature wear and thousands if a tire bursts at speed. Mistake number 4. Neglecting valve cores and caps. That tiny valve stem you barely notice? It's one of the most common causes of mysterious slow leaks. The valve core, a spring-loaded pin inside the stem, seals air in your tire. If it's loose, dirty, or corroded, it leaks slowly and imperceptibly. You fill to 35 psi, drive for a week, and you're back to 31 psi without any visible damage. According to Continental Tire engineers, valve core failure accounts for 12% of all unexplained tire deflation incidents. The cheap plastic valve cap everyone ignores isn't decorative. It protects the core from dust, water, and road salt. Without it, corrosion attacks the spring mechanism. A Glasgow mechanic showed me 4 tires from one car, each losing pressure at different rates because the cores were corroded differently. The fix? Buy a 2-pound valve core tool, tighten cores after every inflation, and replace caps with metal or rubber-sealed versions. Professional tire shops do this automatically for every customer. It's a 30-second habit that prevents weeks of frustration chasing phantom leaks and ensures consistent pressure across all 4 wheels. Mistake number 3, ignoring temperature and altitude effects. Here's physics in action. Tire pressure changes by 1 psi for every 10 degrees Fahrenheit, 5.6 degrees Celsius, temperature swing. Fill your tires at 25 degrees Celsius in summer, and when autumn arrives with 5 degrees Celsius mornings, you've lost 4 psi without touching them. Most drivers assume something's wrong with their tires when it's just thermodynamics. NHTSA data shows TPMS warnings spike by 30% every autumn because drivers don't understand this principle. Altitude compounds the problem. Atmospheric pressure decreases with elevation, making tire pressure appear higher in mountains than at sea level. A tire inflated to 35 psi in London, sea level, might read 38 psi in the Scottish Highlands, tricking you into thinking it's overinflated. A Range Rover owner told me he constantly adjusted pressures driving between Manchester and Peak District until he understood this effect. Goodyear engineers recommend checking tire pressure in consistent conditions, same temperature, same elevation, and rechecking after significant travel or weather changes. Your tires aren't leaking mysteriously. They're responding to environmental physics. Understand this, and you'll stop chasing imaginary problems and focus on real maintenance needs. Mistake number 2, skipping TPMS recalibration. After filling, modern cars have tire pressure monitoring systems, TPMS, that warn when pressure drops dangerously low. But here's the critical flaw. Most drivers fill their tires and drive off without recalibrating the system. Your TPMS still thinks the old pressures are normal, so when a tire actually deflates later, it might not alert you until pressure drops catastrophically. NHTSA accident data revealed 35% of TPMS-related incidents occurred because systems weren't reset after inflation or service. The proper sequence after filling all tires to correct pressure: turn ignition to ON, don't start engine, access your dashboard settings or infotainment menu, select TPMS reset or relearn, and hold until confirmed. Then drive 5 to 10 minutes above 25 miles per hour for the system to measure real-time pressures. Some vehicles require driving in a straight line for 10 to 15 minutes to auto-calibrate. A BMW owner nearly had a motorway blowout because his TPMS didn't warn him. He'd filled tires but never reset the system, so it couldn't detect a slow leak developing over 2 weeks. This 2-minute calibration step ensures your warning system functions when seconds matter most. Mistake number 1, mixing up front and rear pressures. This is the mistake that separates amateurs from professionals, and it's shockingly common. Your door jamb sticker doesn't show one universal pressure. It shows different front and rear specifications for engineering reasons. Front-heavy vehicles like SUVs, trucks, and sedans with large engines carry significantly more weight on front tires due to engine mass, steering components, and braking systems. A typical specification might read, front 36 psi, rear 33 psi. Fill all 4 to 35 psi for simplicity, and you've just destroyed your vehicle's handling balance. You'll experience understeer in corners, uneven tread wear patterns, and reduced ABS braking stability in wet conditions. Tire rack testing proved identical vehicles with incorrect front-rear pressure balance had 12% longer stopping distances and unpredictable handling during emergency maneuvers. These specifications aren't suggestions. They're calculated to match suspension geometry, weight distribution, and ABS calibration. A Volvo XC90 owner I met couldn't understand why his car felt nervous at motorway speeds until a specialist checked his pressures. All 4 at 35 psi instead of the required 36 front/32 rear split. One number doesn't fit all. Follow the engineering, not convenience. The science why tire pressure is critical. Your tires are the only contact patch between 1,500 plus kilograms of vehicle and the road, typically just 4 patches about the size of your hand. Every safety system, ABS, traction control, stability management, even airbags, depends on tires maintaining optimal grip. Just 3 psi underinflation reduces that contact patch by 8%, increasing rolling resistance by 6%, and cutting fuel economy by 2 to 3% according to SAEJ 2452 testing standards. Over a year, that's 100 to 150 pounds in wasted fuel alone, not counting accelerated tire wear. The U.S. Department of Transportation estimates underinflated tires contribute to 660 fatalities annually, not from blowouts, but from reduced grip during emergency maneuvers. Drop your tire size and your local climate below. I'll calculate your exact cold pressure target and tell you how temperature swings affected in your area. Running 225/45 R17S in Scotland, 265/70 R17S in London? I'll give you the engineering answer. And if this just saved you from destroying 800 pounds in tires, subscribe, because your next video might prevent a 4,000-pound suspension failure nobody warned you about. That's not maintenance, that's mechanical survival. Now you know what tire engineers charge 120 pounds per hour to explain.